What's up, all you blue chips? Welcome to the Friday night live stream. What is today? It's January 24th. I didn't take any trades today, so I didn't have to write that down anywhere, so I didn't remember. Getting started a little bit earlier. I was getting a little antsy sitting here just waiting for 10:30 to get here. I didn't want to wait anymore, so let's get to it. So, since the last time we seen, look at this. I was laying down on the couch watching some Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Decided to hit the pillow a little hard there, I guess. Get my little light set up. I feel like I look a little pale, not feeling too well. Let's see if we can get going here. Ooh, oh. How's everybody doing today? I saw Vincenzo asking me for some pepperoni. Circuit coin up in the house. Zishan, what's going on? Have what I think is some decent topics to talk about here tonight. Got them written down. Obviously, the main one's going to be talking about moving forward. I'm going to be referencing my journal a little bit, going over some statistics that we found out recently. Also, how win percentage means absolutely jack shit. And how risk reward and something called profit factor is something that you should be paying attention to. So let's dive into it. First off, I want to say thank you guys. The continued growth of the channel it's heartwarming. We just, again, a month ago, almost to the day, we were talking about just getting over 1,000 subs, and now we're sitting here at 1,362. So if you aren't subscribed already, jump on the bandwagon. If it's live here on stream, you might even get a little bit of a shout out via the cool animations. And yeah, who doesn't want to be the cool guy that gets to show their name up on the screen for subscribing to this awesome channel? By the way, if you are new here, which I don't think many of you probably are, I'm Tim at Volatility Trading. Usually the new guys tend to pile in after the stream's been running for a little bit because I guess like the YouTube algorithm sees some people watching, so it starts to recommend it to other people and so forth. So, Walton, what's going on? David, how you doing? Hold on, my dog either needs water or to be let out. I will be right back. Sorry to leave you hanging already. I'm back. Sorry about that. I've actually been saving this for a special occasion. It's my last one in the fridge. But guess what? Hopefully one day I can have a nice full fridge of them sponsored. That'd be pretty cool. For anybody that doesn't know, I love the taste of balls in my mouth. And again, if you are new here, I'm sorry. But I'm Tim at Volatility Trading, and I am a little bit sarcastic and funny at times, or at least I try to be. And if that doesn't suit your style, then let's see. Besides loud noises, there's the door, and that probably woke up one of my kids, so that was not worth it at all. Probably going to get a message here shortly about waking the kids, and yeah, so that wasn't worth it at all. So it's gonna get me a little bit. Coco Higgins up in the house. Number one gamer girl. Sushi trader. Konnichiwa. You know how to make sushi? It's my favorite food in the world. I love all the sushi. I literally, my Rocket League theme, it's all sushi. I love it. James, I've seen you around, so it's just who I am. Everybody should know that. Anyways, let's get on topic before we decide to keep going. Doji, is that you, Albert? So we're going to go right over to the TraderSync journal. Now, I want to tell you guys something actually that just popped into my head. Next week on the live stream, I recommend that you be here. It involves this TraderSync journal and possibly a random, obviously not random because I know it's happening, and now it's not going to be random to you guys because how many of you are here? It says 7, but I feel like it's more. I just saw 12. Did that many people leave after they heard me talking about balls in my mouth? It would be understandable. But you guys get the sneak peek that we may just be giving away in the heat of the moment 1 full year like we did for the 1,000 sub giveaway, but just one lucky person that's on the live stream. So be here, and I don't know what time it's going to happen, but you do have to be here. That's going to be part of the rules. So what are we looking at? February 8th, 2019 until this is obviously December 20th or December 30th of 2020. So I just have it set that far ahead just so that it never really goes out of style. I didn't want to set it to like the day I was doing this, and then so I would have to change that every single time. So since I started the new strategy on February 8th, 2019, these are my stats. This is what my graph looks like. You guys can kind of see it in a small sense, but let's go to the bigger picture. And you will notice that with the new strategy, I was doing pretty good, right? I was really consistent here. And then I ran into MTSI. I broke my rules, and we had a huge loss. We actually took the month of June off, as you'll see here. So it skips from May, it says May 23rd, to July 1st. So we took the whole month of June off to practice and figure out ways to not let this happen again. And our account was running kind of low. So we had to refund a little bit, which was a little bit scary for me because the funds that I used to put back into the account were the last of my leftover funds to put towards trading. So in a way, I didn't blow up the account, but it got down low enough to the point where I didn't feel comfortable trading. So I had to add funds. So in a sense, I did blow that account up per se, and I added back to essentially start back over at the same amount that I'd started before, which obviously that doesn't correlate here because this is just the trades. This doesn't have anything to do with adding money to the account, fees, commissions, and all that good stuff. All those numbers can be found down here. Because even though from my trading, I've made $640, overall, I'm actually in the red because my net return after commissions is $817. That's also not even including the broker fees every month. So if you really want to do the math, it's even more than that, which for tax purposes, it will, be a deduction, which is good. But, it sucks to know that I'm still not even technically a break-even trader after all the fees and stuff. So a lot of people like to spit this number out on YouTube, say that it was $6,400 instead of $640, and they won't tell you the behind the scenes, all the other fees, the scanner fees, the broker fees, the commissions. They won't tell you all that stuff. They'll just show you this, the big green number, when in reality they could be red in the overall account. So anyways, back to the actual trades here. So we ran into MTSI. We took that break in June to figure out how to not let it happen again. And we did a pretty good job, right? It took us a while, and we downsized in our share size. So it took us a little bit longer, but we actually ended up getting back up to that point where we were before MTSI and started to surpass it. And then this was the month of October. For some reason, things felt like they just kind of slowed down. We couldn't really hit, we kept hitting what we were considering our max loss, which was $100. And, you know, we would get a little slippage here and there. So some of them were a little bit more than $100. And we just couldn't really get anything going over the course of the month of October. It was like we'd get a little bit, drop down, get a little bit, drop down, get a little bit, drop down. And then we finally started to make our way back up and things were rolling. We got past that little pivot point there and we were like, all right, let's go to the moon, right? And I got a little overconfident. We ran into LYV. I don't know if you guys remember that video, but if you weren't here, we'll go relive it here for a second. Now, I don't think I have the chart. Yeah. So when I broke all my trades down into individual trades, it ended up getting rid of all my pictures, which sucked. But it was kind of worth it because I could go through and look at my trades individually. So I was pretty happy about that. Circuit Coin, what's up, man? Get me to 10 likes. Let's do it. I only see 2 there right now, so we got a little ways to go. But yeah, LYV was that big bump in the road, LYV or 706.50. So what happened there? Now this all has, I'm getting to an overall point of how we're moving forward and looking at statistics like I had mentioned earlier. So according to my plan, if I had the chart, I could show you, but this thing moved over 4 points before I got into it. So if we go up to my scanner screen real quick, you can see my little topics note, but I have this area right here where I have risk per shares. So basically what this is if a move is happening, I would calculate from the beginning of the move to where I'm about to enter the trade. So if it moves 4 points, I should be starting with 25 shares. And I was getting overconfident and I started with 50 shares. And on top of that, it was... wrong button. Not only did I start with 50 shares, but I was playing an afternoon trade, which I almost never do. Pretty much every afternoon trade I've taken, which again, I will show you this, which is the power of statistics, by the way. They like never really work out in my favor. They're usually news driven. They don't get the same kind of play. Like it's a very 50-50 with, you know, because if you get an afternoon play with random volume out of nowhere, the odds are it's very news driven, like a buyout rumor. Like it's always something to do with some sort of news. And I don't do well with them. So I need to just stay away from them. So it was a combination of all kinds of rules being broken, and it led to that nice big old fall in my P&L right before the end of the year. So it sucked, right? We were doing so well. So there's obviously a hole in my game, right? Obviously a hole in my game. So how do we find that hole? Well, we thought we did when we realized that maybe it was the fact that we were scaling into the positions and we kind of let our emotions get the best of us. Look, 11 likes that quick. You guys are awesome. Appreciate that. So I would think, you know, I started to think, and that's when this whole past week, maybe 2 weeks, you guys saw me start to talk about how I wanted to change my strategy because I had 2 huge holes in my game. One was having like uncontrollably big losses. And does anybody remember what the other one was? Because I actually somewhat kind of forgot about it. I'm just kidding. But what I'm getting at is these big losses. This was the major one. So what did I do? I went through every single one of my trades, which I'm going to show you real quick, is 266 trades over from February 8th since I started the new strategy. I went through and labeled them by the amount of entries that I took in within each of these. Now we're going to do a little experiment, and we're going to write these numbers down. But first I want to put some more balls in my mouth. If that gets creepy, just let me know. I'll stop. But okay, so when I click this button, watch what happens. So $640 overall, 84% win percentage, 15% loss percentage. So let's click one entry. So if we go to all of my single entry trades, my profit, or well, just my trading profits from just single entry trades, $1,949, 89% win percentage over the course of 166 trades. So let's write this down. 166 out of 266 and 1949. with an 89% win. Just do WL for that. Okay, I know you guys can't see that for now, but I'm keeping track of it. Okay, so let's X out of there. Now let's go set up to 2 entries. 910 on 60 out of the 266. 910 with an 86% win-loss. All right. Now, I've already went through and done this. We're not going to go through and do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of the rest together. You ready? Actually, you know what? Let's just do 3 entry just to give you an idea of where we're starting with this. Just to show you that once we get to 3 entries, kind of what happens. So just I'm not going to write this down, but just at 3 entries, $164 negative in the red with only 73% win percentage. So the win percentage there isn't that bad, but what that's telling you is if I'm taking 3 entries and winning, my profits are not as big as my losers. As you can scroll through here and look, negative 129, negative 184. A lot of these are the max losses that I had taken, 109, 106, 231. And that was, you know, and look at the wins that I'm 26, 7, 4, 28, break even, 72, 52, 20. So I don't have any that are big. I mean, there's 95. So some of them are close to like what the max loss is, but there's nothing even really close to $100 except for that 1 or maybe 2 trades. This is not the free version of TraderSync, but I do encourage you to go test out the free version because it is still good to have. So now I'm going to go ahead and add all the rest on top of 3 entries and show you the results. So here is the other 40 trades. So 40 out of 266, negative 2,219 with a 62% win percentage. Do we see anything crazy here? It's a huge difference. So let me do it this way. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Save. Just call that A real quick. We're going to get rid of all of these. And we're going to put the 1 and the 2 together. And we're going to take a screenshot of this, even though you guys can pretty much see where I'm going with this. Yes, I do have the app version on my phone. Maybe because one is more prone to take risk, unconfident trades with smaller entries. I wouldn't necessarily say that, Weldon, but we'll get to that. That's part of this. I feel like I take less optimal setups when starting small and scaling in. See, I'm not that person. You should know me by now. I'm very selective regardless. That's just kind of me and what I do. Let's see, thumbnails. I was going to say, is it going to let me open up both? All right. So it's probably not going to let me, I guess I could do it this way. Bear with me one sec. I probably should have had these ready, but you guys, you'll survive. Just trying to make it so you guys can definitely see it. All right, so do we notice a difference here? Do we see what's going on? Anytime I take 1 or 2 entries in a trade, I have an 88% win percentage, and I'm making a lot more than I'm losing. So I should have checked the, I forgot to check the crap. All right, we'll do that real quick. But you guys get the picture with that. So I have this up for here. Let's go back to the overview. And we're going to grab the gross profits versus the gross losses. So 1 entry. Sorry, I didn't write the, there we go. Have you tested your risk reward on your strategies, i.e. 1R, 2R, 3R, and track the 100 trades and see the difference in win losses? Jacob, great question. That's exactly what we're getting to with this. Because no, I haven't. That's the problem. And just hold on one sec. I'm going to come back to that. I promise. So, and look at this chart with 1 to 2 entries. Look how beautiful that looks. Okay. So 1 to 2, we're just going to throw this out here. I'm going to pull this back up so you guys can see it in a sec. So 3, 4, 3, 4 versus 5, 7, 4. And then let's do all the rest real quick. 10, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I literally just bought some more RAM because I know it's not my internet speed that's bottlenecking me. I'm pretty sure it's my RAM, which... Yeah, look at that, sitting at 73%, like pretty constantly. I keep a lot of tabs open, so... And then look how unbeautiful this one looks. So let's see, 742 by 2961. And what the reason I was taking those numbers down is for when we get into our profit factor. So let's go back and answer Jacob's question now, because it's a very good one. And it's part of what I wanted to talk about with risk reward. And this is all going to come together. So I have statistics that we're going to talk about, how the win percentage means jack shit, risk reward, and profit factor. These all kind of go together. So let me go back to this page just so I can, let me just pull it down here. It'll be much easier. Let me blow this up a little bit. Let's go format, font, make it all 20, make it bigger. There we go. Maybe we'll make it bold too. Why not? You guys can see it a little better. So these are our main numbers that we just gathered from this. So we got one entry, 166 of our 266 trades, profit 1949, 89% win loss. So let's do the math on this real quick. Let's pull up our handy dandy calculator. So 166 divided by 266, 62.4%. So that means 62.4% of the time we're taking a single entry trade. Let's do 60 divided by 266, 22%, 22.5% of the time we're taking a 2 entry trade, and 40 divided by 266, 15% of the time we were taking everything else. I don't know why that's off center, but whatever. So basically 85% of the time we have an 88% win-loss percentage. So now let's do the math real quick over here. Now, if you guys are ever curious about profit factor, I'm going to give you the down and dirty of profit factor. But basically, if you are above a 1, you're profitable. If you're below a 1, you're not profitable. So the further away from 1 you can get, the better or the worse. So let's do the math here. This is the 1 entry and 2 entry. So 3434 divided by 574. So, which that's just crazy to look at. I actually hadn't even looked at this yet, to be honest. So pretty much 6. So we'll just go over here. Profit factor equals 6. And then let's go down here. We'll do the math. 742 divided by 2961, 0.25. There's a little bit of a difference there. Just a little. So again, 85% of the time when we take a 1 or 2 entry trade, our profit factor is 6. It's crazy to look at to me. I don't understand how I'd never took the time to see this before. But this is why journaling and statistics in your trading is so valuable. Now, this is also with absolutely going back to what Jacob said, this is going back to absolutely having zero profit-taking strategy. I mean, not completely true. Let's go to one of our recent trades where I know I have a chart, SLM. So SLM, what we typically look for is moves that are happening, obviously, big, intense moves right off the scanner. You guys know by now. If you don't know me, I'm Tim from Volatility Trading. All the trades I take are right off the Intensity Stockwatch scanners. If you're interested in those, ask me about them later. We can get to it. And if Mr. Gifford is in here, I think he might have some questions about that anyway. Zishan, we're kind of getting to that. That's part of the moving forward segment. So as you can see here on SLM, I look for previous resistance and I look for an extension through that previous resistance. So in this case, the resistance or the move started from pretty far down under the resistance area. So when we got up to the resistance, it started to feel like it was done. It also just popped through that 1150 area, and we were looking for we were kind of reading the tape, and we happened to be a little bit wrong here. However, when it continued its move, we wanted that move closer to 12. We didn't quite get it. And this is before I actually sat down and did my entries stuff on the journal. So I was planning on adding one last time. When it popped back up like this, because we didn't take any profits on the way down, we were looking for the bigger move. We thought we were going to at least test this 11 area. We didn't quite get there. So when it popped back up right towards high day, it felt like it was going to get rejected. It popped up and just kind of stopped. So we took an ad there with the idea that we'd get one final ad if it wanted to test 12, and that would be it. However, it never did. It came back down to that 50 area, as well as VWAP was right there now. So we decided to take off. I think we had 150 shares. Yeah, we started 75.75, which I can just check. I think it was 75.75. We took off 100 on that move down, and we were left with 50, and we told ourselves that we were going to just try to be patient and look for that move closer down to 11. We started to get a little impatient with it as it just kind of dragged along, and we started to get that move down, and I noticed that we had some previous resistance here in the pre-market. So when we got down there, I figured it was going to act as support, which it did for after we got out of the trade, at least another 45 minutes there before it finally decided to make a big dump. So not really mad that we missed that. You don't know that that's going to happen, but irregardless, what I'm getting at, this ended up being a 2-entry trade. And I remember going back and looking at all my charts, which I still probably could if I wanted to. I'm sure I have them. I think I still have them saved from the other site. I just have to find the file that I saved them to. But what I'm getting at is a lot of my 1 and 2 entry trades have just been where I'm making the most money. I'm reading the charts correctly. So what do we do with that information? Now that we sat down, we took an hour and a half of our time and went through and literally labeled every single one of these trades, how many entries there were, so that we could figure this out. Now, I was not expecting when I clicked on these setups and put them in the way that I just showed you guys, the 1 setup, the 2 setup, 3+, all that good stuff. I was not expecting those results at all. I was completely astounded. I was like, what just happened? I did not expect that. What do I do with this information? So a lot of traders out there, they might not be what I'm calling privileged to have such a dramatic finding, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You can go through and do everything that I just did, and at the end of it, it might be just nothing. It might all just kind of be meshed together, and you won't have the drastic difference that I had. But looking at these statistics, it's pretty hard to deny that I should not be going to a 1 or a 2 entry system, right? This whole time I've been preaching, I want to do the 1-1-2. I want to scale into positions, all that, all the different strategy type talk that I've talked to you guys about in the past. And what it really comes down to is apparently me personally, I'm not saying the 1-1-2 doesn't work. GDT's out there using the 1-1-2. Kev used to use the 1-1-2 and it was working. Plenty of guys in ISW currently use the 1-1-2. There's plenty of guys. Dave, he's here tonight. He scales into positions more than 3 entries and he's doing great. Brian, the owner of Intensity Stock Watch, he will preach the 112 all day, but he likes to scale even more into positions, but his risk tolerance is a little bit different than most. So what I'm getting at is just because it works for somebody else doesn't mean that's who you are as a trader. Everyone is going to have a different personality. Everyone is going to have something that works differently for them. And that is the beauty of the stock market, right? We're all here right now. It says there's 23 of us here. We all could have a different strategy and we could all be profitable. That is the amazing part of this. But there's the same general principles, right? We all need to have some sort of edge, no matter what it is. We all have to have an edge. We have to have the time and patience to make sure that the edge is profitable. And we also have to have rules, right? The rules are so important. You have to follow your rules. Again, I will show you why following your rules is so important. Look at this. This cliff right here, $1,000 cliff, $750 cliff. That should be proof enough that you need to follow your rules. So what are the new rules that I'm coming up with? And these are all rules that, since today was really slow, I had nothing else to think about. I didn't have a video to make. My kid was actually being really good. I tried to take a nap. I did end up falling asleep, but all I could think about was, what am I going to do over the weekend to prepare for Monday with this new knowledge, right? That's all I could think about. Let me finish. Well, I kind of lost train of thought. I know where I want to go with that, but let me catch up in the chat real quick. I hate long trades, but my metrics show I'm more profitable on them. Exactly my point. So another thing that I hear all the time, some traders want to be right, but actual professional traders who want to do this for a living don't care if they're right. They just want to make money, right? So if James, your statistics are telling you that you make the most money when you go long, but you just want to be right when you go short, you need to cut that shit. You need to just cut it, because where you're making the money is long, right? You got to follow what works. No matter, I mean, yes, you still need to find a way to have fun with this. If you don't have a passion for this, it's just not going to work for you. You have to have a passion for this. And I think you guys can tell just by the way that I talk about this stuff that I have that passion. This is what I do in my free time. I have other hobbies. I play baseball, play with my kids, play with the dogs, go outside. I do stuff. But in every bit of my extra spare time that I'm not doing all that stuff, this is all I think about. And so with this new knowledge, James says, there's this guy, David Frost, that pinpoints the daily bounce buy. I'd like to add that to my playbook, similar to what you're saying. I found that I was shorting down to his buy levels. There you go. And that happens a lot, right? That's the beauty of it. I could be playing a short position, and I'm usually taking profits where some people are buying, right? It makes sense. People are looking for the end of a move just like I am. I'm taking profits there because I think it's the end of the down move. And some people are buying there because they think that's the start of the move back up. So again, that's the beauty of it. It all makes sense. So again, what do we do with this newfound knowledge? Kind of brings me back into the win percentage real quick. I want to talk about that. So right now, as you guys can see, let me go back to the dashboard. I have an 84% win percentage overall, all right? People would go nuts to have an 84% win percentage. 84% win percent, yeah. But if your win percentage is high and all of your profits are just small profits and all of your losses are bigger losses, that win percentage means nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's where that profit factor comes in, because that is what actually shows you if a strategy is working. So yes, the strategy is yielding 84% wins, but at the same time, the profit factor shows that it's really not. It's actually 0.25 if you take all the other. Actually, you know what? Let's do the profit factor for the overall strategy. Obviously, it's going to be above 1, but it can't be too much. So 4.1. 4177 divided by 3536. So it's 1.18. So when you take 84% into mind, you would think that, oh, this guy's killing it, right? But in reality, my profit factor is only 1.18. That's really not that good. Where somebody that is trading only, you could have a 10% win percentage and be super profitable. If your risk reward is 1 to 10, that means every 10 trades, you only have to win once just to break even. So if you can manage to win, actually, I guess it would have to be more than 1 to 10 because that literally would be break even. Say your risk reward is 1 to 15 and you have a 10% win percentage. You're profitable, right? And your wins are going to be so much bigger. So in reality, you're going to make more money than I am with an 84% win percentage, and I'm only at a 1.18 profit target, where they would be, I don't know what they'd be at because I don't have their exact numbers, but I mean, let's say 15,000 to 10,000, right? That should be about what it would be. 15,000 divided by 10,000. So it's 1.5. I'm such an idiot. So 1.5. So right there, they have a 10% win percentage. I have an 84% win percentage, but technically their profit factor is higher than mine. So it just goes to show you win percentage, as I said in the beginning, means absolutely jack shit. So if somebody's floating around saying my win percentage is 90%, blah, 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 whatever, right? And on top of that, don't ever believe if somebody's just showing you their accumulative return, because I just showed you that they could be trading 50,000 shares a day just to make $100, and over the course of the year they may have made $15,000 say per se. But if you're trading 50,000 shares a day to get to that point, their fees and commissions and stuff are going to be outrageous, and it's going to outweigh that number significantly, and they're probably going to be red on the day, but all you're seeing is that number that they're showing you. So that, and again, and this is where Vincenzo usually pops in and says this guy is so transparent, but that's the whole point of this, right? That's the whole point of me coming on here and showing you all of this, is to show you what real traders go through, right? You need to know the ins and outs and the back end of things before you can really dive into this. We're right now, it's been all kind of, hopes and, learning and stuff like that up until this point. But I'm to the point now where I feel like I have a sample size to the point where I could go through, do what I just did, and see how astounding the statistics can really make something pop out at you, right? So like I said before, if I would have never broke my rules, my chart probably would look fine. But at the same time, by breaking my rules, it's led me to the point where I have now found all of these distinguished differences that I now know that my best trades are 1 and 2 entries. So now I can further perfect and narrow down my strategy to make it my strategy, right? I can tell you exactly a strategy that is profitable for somebody else, and you can go try to make it work. But over the course of, say, 266 trades, you're going to start to see things as you're trading it over and over and over again that just do not work for you. They might not fit your emotional side of trading. It might not fit your risk tolerance. It might not fit the way that you are wired to be as a trader. Now, granted, that's a whole different story when we're talking about being wired to be a trader, because there are things that you're just naturally taught throughout life that you kind of have to just push aside to be a trader. You have to really kind of push yourself outside your comfort zone, because if you don't, you're never really going to have the emotional tenacity, is the word I'll use, to really become a good trader. You can't be me when I first started and just afraid to lose all the time. You have to kind of put yourself out there a little bit. So back to kind of what Jacob said earlier. When I am now entering a trade, and we'll actually go back since it's one of the only charts I have right now, SLM. The old me would have just scaled into this position and kind of just got out when I felt like the trade was done, right? But what happens? it always seems to never fail that we get a move a little bit lower if it wants to go lower. And if it wants to pop back up, it does what it does, right? A stock is going to do what a stock is going to do. So if you set a profit target and you can hold to that profit target, you can really start to gain actual data, right? The data that I have right now is basically just saying when you do trade with just 1 or 2 entries, you are much better at it. You're much better at predicting the tops or the bottoms and profiting from that. Like you're good at that. You're good at picking your entries. That's basically what those statistics are telling me. But what they are also telling me is that I am really bad at taking profits too early. I have absolutely no system in place for taking profits, and that I need a system to learn how to take profits. So that's where risk reward comes in. So again, consistency. If you guys didn't watch my video from Monday, go watch it. Consistency fosters profits. It's the number one thing in trading is consistency. If you can consistently make $50 a day, over and over and over and over and over again, if you can just make $50 a day, every day, you can make $500 a day. All it is another zero on the end of your share size. If you can completely cut the emotion out of trading 100% and trade the same exact way that you are to make $50 a day to try to make $500 a day, it's the same trades. The liquidity is going to be the exact same. You should not be dealing with stocks where liquidity jumping from $50 a day to $500 a day is an issue. It's the same thing. You just add a zero to your share size. It really is that simple. But if you can't consistently make that $50 a day over and over and over again, you're not going to be able to make the $500 a day. It comes down to that. And I personally am not to that point. That's why you don't see me trying to scale up. I'm not ready yet. I'm still figuring myself out. As you can see, I'm making a major breakthrough right now. You guys are witnessing me make a breakthrough in my trading. This week, trying to switch to a different strategy has opened up my eyes to so many different things. Now, trying to switch and teeter with my strategy a little bit to the multiple ad system and waiting for it to come back to a certain point, that has helped me in such a way that you don't even realize. Because what it allowed me to do is realize, wait a minute, if I was willing to wait for a certain amount, for a trade to come back a certain amount after it extended itself, why can't I do that if I nail the top of the trade? If I nail the top of, if I nail high of day or at least near it, why can't I just wait, right? Let my winners go. Make more profit off of my winners with full size. Why can't I do it? The answer is I can. I just haven't been. I can't tell you how many times I've pulled up a chart and it looks just like this. Well, this one's a little bit better, but where I've pulled up a chart, you'll see me take profits like completely, and then it just drops all the way down here to 11 where I wanted it in the first place. And why did I get out? This chart really gave me no reason to get out. I would get out because I was so scared of it coming back up and I wasn't going to have a green trade at all. Well, guess what? That's where risk reward comes in. If you set and you're basically taking your emotions out of it. So if I get 2 entries in here and my risk is say $50, but I'm looking to make $100, just as an example, I'm allowing this trade to go against me up to $50, which in this case I would hope is right at 1201. But I'm allowing it to go down and make me $100. Let's do the math here. I remember I just checked this earlier, so I know high of day was 84. Let's pull out the calculator again. So we had 1157 plus 1171 divided by 2. So that's our average was 1164 with 150 shares. So if we take, let me do the math here in my head real quick, or make sure I'm doing the math right. So if we want to risk the $100, we would have to $100 divided by That would be a whole point though, right? That doesn't make sense. Or well, it would be half of that, right? Okay, so it would be 50 cents. So 12, I'm such an idiot. So plus 0.5, there we go. So 12.14. So our stop loss was at 12.14, but to gain 100, we would have needed it to go down to 10.64, right? So let's go back to the chart. Now I don't know if that is 10.64, but that's pretty darn close, right? So say we had our full position size, or well, like in this case we did, right? If we were using 2 entries, 75, 75, which again, that's actually going to change too. We can get to that in a little bit. I'm going to catch up in the chat right after I get through this. But let's say this is all happening and it comes down to this VWAP / $half area, right? And it completely starts to shake me out. And I'm like, okay, it feels like it's not going to go lower. I don't like it. It might go back high a day and I might lose my $50, which is up here above $12. But maybe if I just get out now, I'll guarantee myself profits. Well, my strategy, and we'll even do this, the way that I played this, I made $28.50, right? I personally made $28.50. Now we're going to let me pull that up here. We're going to do a little experiment. But my plan, again, let's say it did come down and fill us on this drop and we got the full $100. So our plan, let's pull this back down here. Plan. So I made $28.50. My plan made $100. Let's do that. I already have, oh, did I closed it? No, don't shut down. That'd be bad. So what's the difference there? We'll just do it. We'll do that. We'll make this a little bit easier. So the difference is $71.50. So $71.50 is the difference. So if you take that over the course of 266 trades, just saying if you were to win every single trade, or let's just do, we'll do the percentage, 88%. So what is 266 times that's not times 266 times 0.0 or times 0.88. So 234 of the trades. So 234 times 7150 is 16,731. And then say we took the loss on, so negative 50, which would equal, how many trades was it? 234. So 266 minus 234. So 32 times 50. So $1,600. So now, if we want to go back to profit factor, this would leave us with 16,731 divided by 1,600. 10.45 profit factor. Where if we do the same numbers with 28, so let's go down, or we'll just do it underneath. So with 28 times that 234, we'll even do 29, we'll up it a little bit. 6,786. You see where I'm going with this? So now if we do the profit target, 6,786 divided by 1,600, 4.24, which obviously is still good. But are you seeing how not having a set plan can affect your overall strategy, right? I personally, without any kind of a plan on that trade, made $28.50. If I would have stuck to my plan 100%, I would have made my $100. Over the course of, if I have the same risk reward on every single trade, literally 1 to 2, just to make $100, risking 50, I would have made, what's the difference here? 16,731 minus 6786, $9,945 just in this case is just the difference. Only trying to make $100 on each trade versus risking 50. That's a huge difference. A huge difference. Now, and that's only over the course of my small sample size, right? Now imagine that over the course of thousands of trades, years and stuff like that. And that's at a very low scale. Add a zero to this, right? It's a befuddling amount to me. When you really start to break down these stats, when you get into profit factor instead of worrying just about win percentage, when you really start to put risk reward into play, and again, you can change this to 1-to-1. It could be just $50. You're risking 50 to make 50, and it would be half of this amount. But you're still over. Like if you were only doing $50 instead of 100, I'll just do it real quick. So what was it? 234 times 50. Oh, that's definitely not right. 240 or 234. So it's still 11,700 instead of that 2850 that we were making, and that's still minus 6786 of almost $5,000 difference, just because you followed the plan, which is only 1-to-1 instead of taking profits early. So I didn't mean to X that up. I'll move it up. When you really start to break this stuff down, it's pretty crazy. That's all I'm getting at. And that's kind of what we're doing to move forward. I'm not sure what risk reward I'm going to go for. I'm probably going to start with a 1-to-2 to kind of see if it pans out. I'm going to try to get like those 100 trades like Jacob, sorry. Like Jacob had said earlier. And we're going to go from there. So, okay. Let's catch up on the chat. Sorry. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this episode or this Friday night live stream. So hopefully you guys are paying attention. And if you are new here, I'm Tim at Volatility Trading. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe. Hit the little post notification button. And all that good stuff. I meant to incorporate that into my thingamajigger here. Let me, first off, let's go back there. Wonder if I could do that real quick. Give me 1 second here. Is it? No, I don't want a scene. Window. Yeah, there it is. Let's see. New. I don't think that's. Hold on, I did the wrong thing. Bidding. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can do it over here. Let's see. Give me 1 sec. Bear with me. I'm just curious if this works. My mustache is bothering me. Dun, 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 dun. Da, da, da. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Aha! Look at that. I don't know if it made the sounds or not, but haha. I'm curious if I click that. Okay, cool. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So let's catch up here on the chat. So Jacob, hopefully that answers your question. I am planning to do exactly what you had mentioned with the 100 trades. I'm going to be testing out the 2R to start because I figured if I test out the 2R, I will be able to incorporate that just looking at the charts and everything if I would have hit 3R. Obviously, if I'm hitting 2R, I would definitely have hit in 1R, and then we can obviously go from there. All right. I can't tell you how much, James says, I can't tell you how much I love a 1-to-3 risk reward. It forces me to wait patiently because it's less common. With a 1-to-1, you can take dozens of garbage trades per day. Well, we're still not going to be taking garbage trades. We're still looking to take the high probability setups. You guys hear me talk about pocket aces, kings, queens, ace, king suited, all that good stuff. If you're a poker player, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But we're not here to just add more volume to the mix. We're still going to be taking quality trades. We're not looking to just, take as many trades as we can. I mean, we are looking to take as many trades as we can, but with the high probability setups. I love running different money management stats. Well, then this this stream was right up your alley, Vincenzo. Do you prefer buying at market or limit orders? I never use a market order, Giovanni. I could every one of my hotkeys that you see on my montages, they're all limit orders. I will put like a 5-cent buffer on the sides of them because when I hit that button, if it wants to jump 5 cents, I'll still get in the trade. But if it wants to jump more than 5 cents, I'm going to miss the trade because that's not something I would be interested anyway. If it wants to jump 20 cents or something, I obviously don't want my entry to be 20 cents from where I was looking to get it. So that's why I always use limit orders. You use a market order and you hit that button, it could jump 50 cents and you're going to get filled. And then if that thing plummets right back down, the 50 cents that it just jumped, you're screwed. So that's why I don't use that. What version of TraderSync? I just saw that come up on the other thing. I don't even know how to check the version. Settings. Let's try configuration. Portfolio. Where do you even check that? Trade settings, notifications, privacy. Honestly, I don't even know where you check that. If you want to tell me, I can check. Profile, personal information, support, stress support. Nope. I don't see it in here. Account plan. No, that just has that. I don't know. Speaking of that, with TraderSync, he's working with me to get a coupon code or a discount for you guys. So if you guys aren't interested, you guys can hang around for that. I know a lot of you guys have actually been asking me about it personally, and I told him that one of the main reasons I think he's missing out on a lot of signups is the price, because the price is a little bit high. I just saw that this might be a thing. Oh, that's if you get 1 year, it's 50% off. But so definitely keep an eye out. But like I said, next week we're going to be giving away one of these guys. So that's a little tidbit for you guys that are here. We're going to be giving away a whole year of the Pro TraderSync. So to one person, and you have to be here. So I'm not sure at what point in time in the stream that we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. All right, let's catch back up. Hey, Tim, this is from Armando. Hey, Tim, I had a question. I traded IBIO twice yesterday and don't know why, but I got charged $40 in commissions and $20 in ECN fees. Not sure why it's so expensive. Armando, what, also, I'm trying to just read on just Armando's things here real quick. Also, I started with a small account with 1K, so I see this as kind of a big loss just on fees. Yeah, I would agree. Damn, that's kind of why I came to CMEG was for the no PDT rule. But if I have to go back to Robinhood, if the fees are too high, then I guess that's it. Did Zishan answer your question here? Try trading with small size and get rid of the fear and then grow your share size. Armando, US broker with 0 fees, that will help. I mean, it could, but even there's tons of videos out that show you that, yes, it's $0 commissions. But I'll tell you, the amount of people that I know that have left just TD Ameritrade because their platform has just been absolute crap since they went to $0 commissions. It's a lot of them. Just to give you a heads up. But so Armando, I don't see the answer answered. I don't see the question answered. What kind of share size are you trading? How many like entries and exits do you have? Because to get to $40, assuming you use the 295 trade, the sign up code, that would be 13-ish tickets. And the ECN fees, that is a little bit high. And this is assuming that you didn't go over 1,000 shares, because if you went over 1,000 shares, it could be a little bit different. And then that's why the ECN fees would be a little bit higher as well. So are you scaling in and out of a position with 13 plus tickets? Is that what's going on? Or you'll have to kind of update me as we go, and I'll get back to that as I still catch up here. Jeff says, I need to frame that shit. Stock is going to do what a stock is going to do. It's you guys know that's true. I can tell you it's going to go up, down, or sideways all I want, which I did on the stream this morning. Call, what was it, NNTC or whatever it was. I told you exactly what it was going to do, and it did it. So again, experience. I've only been doing this for a year and a half. Experience. It's all about experience. Watching the charts, putting in the time and studying charts, just seeing the same things happen over and over again. You're going to start to pick up on those little things. And unfortunately, you still need to have a system. Just because you think you know what's going to happen, you can't just throw money at it, because a lot of the times when you think it's going to happen, it's still not a good setup, right? Just because you think you know what's going to happen doesn't mean you just throw money at it. That's kind of like going up to the roulette table and saying, I think this is going to hit black because I just saw red hit 10 times in a row, and just throwing money at it. Well, guess what? It's still a 50-50 shot. Not even really 50-50, because it's like 48 point whatever. But needless to say. Zishan says, try trading with small size and get rid of the fear. That's true. Yeah, I had already kind of mentioned that, but yeah, it's very true. And that helped me. It actually helped me when I took that big loss on MTSI. I came back in this little area here with smaller share size, and this huge climb up was all smaller share size. It was just consistency. I was learning to be consistent, and I wasn't putting in the big numbers, but I was just learning how to be more consistent, and I was doing a really good job. And then I just got stupid and broke my rules again with LYV because I started to get a little too confident. And again, emotion, right? Emotion. You got to take the emotion out of it. Once that trade started going against me, and say hit that $50 limit, or $100 limit, or whatever the max loss is, you got to cut it. You got to cut it. You can get back into the trade. You should never be letting that thing go $700, $800, $900 against you. It's stupid. Makes no sense. I've wondered about the averaging strategy conceptually. The better you are at calling the top, the less shares you have, so less profit. Not always true. And this is something that I wanted to get back into, which we can just do it right now. So now that I know that I'm the best at 1 to 2 entries, I was initially let's go back to, I'm just going to move this over. So if we go back up to the scanner screen, this chart here that I showed you, when a stock moves 1 point, my entry size was 100 shares, but the purpose behind this was a 1-1-2. So what I was doing is I was taking $100 risk, dividing by the move that it made, and that was giving me the entry size. So $1 risk for a $1 point move was 100 shares. So the idea was, when I got into a stock, say it made the point move, I'm thinking when I got in, if it really wants to extend itself, it's probably only going to go about half that, which is 50 more cents. So with 100 shares, half of that move would be 50 cents. That's $50. So if I wanted to add at, say, 25 cents, that would be another 100 shares for the 1-1. So from that 25 cents up to 50, that's another $25, which is $75. So then say it moves that final 25 cents up to where I was planning on making my risk for this trade at the 50 cent mark. I hit my double for 200 shares. It gives me 400 shares up, and the average obviously is, here, we'll just do the math real quick on that. Say we get in at $10, we add at $10.25, so now our average is $10.12.50, and then we add 200 shares at $10.50. We're just using exact numbers for math purposes. Divide that by 2, or hold on, I guess we got to add that together. 10.125 plus 10.50, and then that is definitely not right. 10.125 plus 10.50 divided by 2. So now our average is at 1031.25, and we have 400 shares. And we're assuming that this thing is so extended that we're going to get some kind of a pullback, right? That's the whole point of the strategy in the first place. This is the 1-1-2, obviously. And I did all that math without you guys being able to see it. So I just pretty much just figured out how to do the average. So our average would have been at 1031.25. So with the strategy, now from $10 to $10.50, our first 100 shares are down $50. From 25 to 50 is another $75. And now we're adding that last little bit, which is 200 shares, and we're giving it that little bit of a leeway to hopefully risk that max of $100, right? That's where this chart came into play, and how I was supposed to follow this chart at all given times to only risk $100 max per trade. And this is assuming that I'm right 88, 89, 90% of the time on most of these trades that I can be willing to risk that. But my problem was I was always taking profits too early. I never had a take profit strategy. So it would end up coming back in most cases, and we would win, $30 or whatever. But I was willing to risk. Oh my God, I'm in like the Big Bang Theory. I was willing to risk $100 to make 30. Like it just doesn't. It's really starting to light bulb into my head. That doesn't make sense, right? But what I'm getting at, what the whole point of that was, all I have to do is kind of change these numbers so that now I can just go in to try to get full size with two entries, right? If I'm the best at 1 to 2 entries, now if it makes a point move, I can just get in with 200 shares, look for if it wants to continue, looking for just one ad, maybe give it a little bit more space, hit it with another 200 shares. That's it. That's my entry. And my set risk should be, and this is obviously if it was still $100 risk. So if I wanted to risk $50, I would cut that in half. So I would still be at a point risking 100 and then hitting 100 and then, making $50 my risk. But the whole point is you're still hitting your max share size. And if you do hit the top, right? Now think of it this way. I'm going to actually pull up a chart to kind of explain this a little bit better. So say on SLM, our first entry was this candle, our second entry, right? What's the difference of this being my first entry or my second entry, right? It doesn't make a difference, because if my first entry was this one for real, which it was, and then my second entry is at the top, what's the difference if my first entry is at the top and my second entry is just a little bit further down on the back end? What's the difference? There is no difference. You're going to end up with the same average. So if you do feel that you nailed the top, you can add in, and then you just risk off that high of day. It's that simple, right? That's the strategy. That's always been the strategy. If it wants to consolidate and go high a day, you cut it, because the odds are it's most likely going to continue. And if you scaled in correctly, you're at max size, and it's going to be around what your max risk for the trade was. So, and in some cases, you might end up with, since you came really close to the top, you might actually end up losing less than your max loss because you were so close to the top, right? Which is even better. So hopefully that kind of answers your question about having smaller size, because that's not always the case. It really depends, and that's why these statistics are so important. It's so important to see that, okay, we're going to stick to just 1-2 entries because we know that that's where we are the best, right? So now we take that and saying, okay, now we know we're not going to ever try to get to 3, 4, 5, 10 entries, right? We're just going to get max size, 2 entries. If it works, awesome. We're going to go for 2R. If it doesn't work, we're going to cut it at 1R, right? That simple. It's a strategy. We're going to see if it works. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to go for. That's the idea. Ah, crap. I forgot to change it back. My bad. Okay. I'll pull that back up just for a sec. Ghost chart. So you guys heard what I was saying. I was basically saying, what's it matter if my first entry is the one on the front side and then I nail the top on the second entry, or if my first entry is at the top and I get the second ad on the way back down? That's all I was getting at. You guys could hear what I was talking about to kind of put 2 and 2 together for the rest of it. So that's really all it was. And you guys understand what I was talking about with the risk reward. So, and if you don't, ask again. We'll get back to it. So hopefully that answers that, James. Because trust me, like I've already thought about that a lot. Armando said that. Damn, that's kind of why I can. Blah, 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 blah. Use TD Ameritrade or E-Trade with cash account. It takes 24 hours for your profit to come in, but it's worth it to grow your account. And I don't disagree. Let me see if Armando responded back to that. No, he didn't. So Armando, if you do come back and listen to this, I always tell everyone that you need at least like $2,500 if you're going to start day trading, especially with an account like with CMEG. Because if you really want to get around that PDT rule, you really need to have the funds to do it. If you're starting with $1,000, it might be best to try TD Ameritrade, E-Trade or something where it is commission free. Use a cash account and it can benefit you because you can really focus on the trades. You might not get the best fills. You might not get, that immediate snap fill, I don't really know what other way to say it. They have issues with filling your orders right away because they're when you hit that button, they're trying to sell your order. So if you have like a 25 share order or something silly like that, it's not always going to get filled right away. So just always keep that in mind. But at the same time, it will allow you to not have to worry about all the fees and stuff like that. So there is that. Aha moments episode 1. Yeah. Jeff says exactly. This is definitely, I even told Jonathan when he had asked me what the topic of tonight's video was. I told him it was a lot of light bulb ideas. And I was talking to Brian earlier, and I just told him, I was like, it's crazy. I feel like I could just light my whole house with all these light bulbs going off in my head right now. I know we can reach, and there, speaking of Jonathan, there he is. I know we can reach 20 likes. We're at 15. If you haven't hit that like button, do it for Jonathan. I don't really care. I do care. I'm just kidding. I like the support. Oh, so yeah, Momo, what version? I run a spreadsheet, but was thinking of going to paid website. Well, Momo FOMO, I can tell you, like I had said, we're working on getting a discount for you guys. It's in the works. I don't want to give away like anything, like any of his personal information. So, cause we were kind of chatting, but let me check. I think he said it was like a couple weeks. Support for that. Yeah. He said about 3 weeks. So if you guys can kind of maybe wait around for that long, maybe get the free version, just to kind of mess around with it. And be here next week. If you guys haven't heard yet, we're going to give away a full year. You guys are getting the down low. So that's not something I'm going to mention on the channel. I'm just going to do it randomly for all of you hardcore traders that like to get one last dose of the stock market before we enjoy our weekends. Speaking of Jonathan over at Circuit, guys, if you are into crypto at all and possibly like racing, go check them out. They are, I can't even say they're a new coin anymore. They're a project that has really got some movement. I forget, what do they call it? The white papers or the white sheet, whatever the heck it's called, to kind of the roadmap, I think is another word for it. I am not trading crypto. I support Jonathan. Jonathan is one of my good friends. He's been here since the beginning, and I believe in Jonathan, and I believe in that project because he's pouring his heart and soul into that thing. And you can just tell just by, joining their Discord, going on their website, all that good stuff. You can like really tell that this thing's around for the long haul. Jonathan really believes that crypto is the future, and he has a very compelling argument if you ever sit down and talk to him. So crypto is one of them ones. It's racing based. It's based in the racing world. And the idea behind it is one day you can go to a race and pay with Circuit Coin at the race for vendors, whatever it may be. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. I'm not sure if Jonathan still has white paper. I don't know what the heck it's called. I don't really follow crypto too much. I just know what Jonathan has taught me. So see, I guess I do know a little bit, Zishan. But yeah, if you're interested, I think Jonathan has, I know there's a faucet set up to where you can go there every single day and get some free circuit from the faucet. And it's pretty cool. I enjoy talking to Jonathan about it and all that good stuff. So yeah, I don't trade crypto, but again, I obviously support Jonathan going through that. Giovanni, the coupon code, there is not one just yet. But if I have Momo, I have you, Giovanni. Jeff is like, I'll take a year. Wait, coupon code for what? What are you guys talking about? For TraderSync? Unfortunately, that's not a coupon. That's just my affiliate link. So it's still the full price. If you guys wanted to get it per month, it's still going to be full price. But if you do want to sign up for a year, you do get half price. So there is that. And yes, use my affiliate link. It does obviously help the channel out. Yeah, the ghost chart. Sorry about that. When your stop is tighter, which probably entails one entry, you can bet more and grow faster to make up any loss of total size. And Vincenzo is completely right about that. And believe it or not, if you're in my Discord, you guys know Devin by now. That's all Devin does. Devin is a support resistance trader. He finds key areas of support, key areas of resistance. He will go long or short. He's actually used to be long biased and now he's kind of short biased. But he will just get in at those key spots. If it breaks, he jumps out. He's either right or he's right out. It's that simple. And he's very good at letting his winners run. And if he's wrong about that support or resistance holding, he just cuts his trade. It's that simple. He's like one of the best people I've ever seen do that. And it's something I used to try to do. I don't know. I couldn't stand the 50-50-ness of it. And I guess maybe I was just unlucky because it started to not be 50-50 when I was tracking those stats. The lines seemed to break a lot more often when I was trading them, but that was also back when I was trading low floaters too. So that could have had something to do with it. So, but he also went away from the low floaters, as I have. And there's definitely a lot more consistency once you kind of get out of that, the carnival games is what I like to call them. If only 1,000, maybe best to do TradeNet. I will never really promote TradeNet, but it isn't a bad way to get started. But to be honest, I would much rather start with a cash account on one of the free US brokers. That's just my opinion. Innovation is key, Tim. Keep up the great work. Of course, Jonathan. I'm not going anywhere. Trading crypto. Yeah, Ben, I already answered that. No, whoop, 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 whoop. Who wants some more balls? Tip your bell, man. What's going on, man? Can you backtest your trades to see the results would be with updated strategy? I'm assuming the 3+ trades would still have been losers, and with a 1 to 2 risk reward, win rate would fail. So I'm sure I could, but I'm not too positive I want to sit here and go through 266 trades. It took me and it was like an hour and 45 minutes just to go through and literally like click, click, come down here, look at how many entries it was, click here, and then I'd have to click again, click back here, and I would have to sit here. I had to scroll through all 266 trades. So to go back and try to backtest that, especially without having the charts now, it would kind of suck. So I think I'm going to do that, but it's going to be going forward. Sorry. White paper for crypto. So I got it. Okay, good. If I am allowed, I would like to attach the circuit newsletter link. Is that fine, Tim? Of course it's fine. The 2020 roadmap. See, I knew it was a roadmap. Milestone has been released. And that's the other thing. Jonathan, he was always telling me about this roadmap. And he was always like, oh, we're going to be doing this by like March of next year, which is now coming up. And like in November, he's like, oh yeah, that thing we were going to have done in March, we already got done. Like they're just endlessly working on this thing. Me and Jonathan used to talk and play Rocket League almost every night. And now that MFer doesn't ever talk to me because he's always busy working on circuit. Letting everyone know what we are doing this year. We have a meeting with an international car club tomorrow. I am excited. Just printing out the contracts. See, the guy's always working. It's pretty awesome. I know, and they're sponsoring car clubs. They have a Legends driver. They have an iRacing driver. They have all kinds of they're on point. They're not just some coin that's just hoping to work out, the get rich quick thing. Like he's here to make this a currency. Like when you go to racetracks, his end goal is that you will be at those racetracks paying with Circuit Coin. That it's pretty cool. Yeah, feel free to list that link, Jonathan. But only if we get the 20 likes. You got to get everyone to get me 20 likes first. No, I'm just kidding. Circuit Coin, can I mine your coin? Zishan, yes, you can. I actually have 3 master nodes myself. And plus, if you just keep the wallet open, you get to, what is it called? Stake. You get the stake. I trade more like Devin. Who is this mysterious Devin? Well, Vincenzo, if you would finally come into my Discord channel, you would know. That's all I'm going to say. Devin is one of the coolest guys. He has actually been around just a little bit longer than Jonathan. And Devin is the first person I met in the trading world. And we have been I almost said detachable, but I don't think that's right. Inseparable. We're very much alike, sense of humor wise, and we get along. We used to literally we had our own Discord private server for probably like 8 months, where we would just get in there every morning and talk while we were trading, just the two of us. And so when I started the channel is when I, made the Discord channel for everything else. And we still actually, we'll randomly just jump in there and talk, but he's in there helping out with the channel. Thomas is always in there helping out with the channel. Tom is always helping out with the channel. The amount of support you guys have given me and just, helped out, I hope that I am doing my best to show in return all of that support back at you guys. Devin is in the Discord. Yep. Thanks. It's not Gifford, man. It's Mr. Gifford. I thought Discord was all intensity traders. No, the chat room I'm always talking about with the intensity Stockwatch guys. That's if you're signed up with the team for intensity Stockwatch scanners, there's 2 additional chat rooms. One is the lounge, and these are separate from Discord. They're not in Discord. He has like his own coded chat rooms. So one is kind of like the lounge, and the other one is where we all give our trading alerts. So again, we put our trading ideas, alerts, whatever you want to call them, into the live trading room throughout the morning. But it's not we're not looking to bring people into the room just for the alerts. But obviously he knows that happens every once in a while because I show you guys his trades on the live stream all the time. The guy kills it. So of course everybody's going to want to come in and kind of try to follow what he does. But what I always try to tell everybody, and I know Dave was in here earlier, the reason I would want you to come into the room is so that you can pick our brains, just like you guys do here with me. I want you to be able to pick the brain of a guy who's been trading for 20 years that kills it every single day, that can improve your trading just by you asking a question. He might be able to answer it in a way that I can't because I don't have that experience like he has. He might be able to just give you a more in-depth answer. He might be able to improve your trading even more than maybe, hopefully, I am. So that's why I would want someone to come into the chat room because you have resources there that can make your trading that much better. I would never want someone to join the chat room just looking to follow somebody's alerts. That makes no sense. That's never going to be sustainable. You should only be joining a chat room to learn from somebody that you believe in as a mentor per se. Hopefully that was a good lesson on chat rooms too. I don't really talk about them too much. So Zishan, our coin is constructed off of the POS masternode technology, saves a lot of money, and your rewards are substantial. So there you go. 20 likes. We didn't get any more yet, Jonathan. Can't list it. I'm just kidding, man. Go ahead and list it. It's fine. Oh, sweet circuit coin. Yeah, Discords need more bodies. I mean, my Discord's not too bad. Got a bunch of people in there. We're actually almost, or I don't know if it counts those top, but if it does count the top ones, we're over 100. So is that you that just joined, Pullman, or is Pullman somebody else? But the general hangout inside the Discord is where we usually hang out. All the other channels are kind of just extra. Siamese twins attached at the hips. Yeah. We're definitely not twins. We do both have beards, though. Circuit coin, what program language did you use to make your cryptocurrency? C++? Question mark. I thought I was your buddy. Vincenzo, you are. You are my buddy. You're my distinct YouTube buddy. So should I tell you that this is alcohol and say that I'll drink it for donations? Just kidding. I'm leaving you for Devin. I wouldn't be surprised. Devin's a handsome guy. I give credit where credit's due. I actually really miss Kenobi. He's been in and out. I know he's been having some personal issues. But whenever he comes around, I don't know. He's one of them lights in the room per se. Feel free to message me if you have questions regarding circuit. Yeah, Zishan, Jonathan is your circuit, or he's your crypto guy. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask him. And he will convince you that circuit is awesome. He will also tell you that Bitcoin is going to go to all-time highs at some point. Are there drinks and snacks in the Discord lounge? I mean, if you bring them, you know there's going to be pepperoni and balls. Actually, there's not going to be any more balls after tonight. Which is a lie because I'm going to get some more. Kenobi will be back, Mr. Gifford. He'll be back. So, kind of finally caught up there with the chat. I don't really have anything else for you. I really feel like we hammered this one down really well with moving forward and all the statistics that we went through. The outline was, to show you guys the statistics from the journal, explain to you that win percentage means nothing if your risk reward is crap, and how profit factor can really play a role in everything. So, oh geez. Circuit. All right, I'll drink some balls just for circuit. Oh, I got to go to, oh, I missed it. All right, John. Oh, you know what? I can replay it. Let me go full screen with chat box. I wonder if the chat box actually works. It probably doesn't. Let's do I have all these, but I don't have any charts, so it doesn't really make sense. We'll just leave the chat box. Jonathan said, keep up the great work, Tim. I appreciate that, man. It's funny. He changed his name to Circuit, so now it comes up as Circuit. But if anybody doesn't know, Circuit is also Lone Wolf. He doesn't really post on his trading channel anymore. I used to follow that trading channel when it used to be live, but ever since I passed it in subscribers, I unsubscribed because I have no use. Not chasing it. I'm just kidding. I'm not leaving yet, Mr. Gifford. I'm still here to answer questions. I was just letting you guys know that I think I explained everything. So I'm going to leave the floor open to you guys now for some Q&A until we kind of bug out a little bit here. But again, thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate the support. I'm going to run that by again so you guys can see down here at the bottom. You see the coins going there. Boom, boom, boom. So if you guys tip, you do see that you get the nice little donation money roll thing there, and you get your coins in my cool little jar. If you actually subscribe, you get a cool little volatility trading icon looking thing in there too. I'll go back to full screen for now. I miss John. I'm still subscribed. I'll prove it. Let's see. YouTube. Lone Wolf Day Trading. 663 subs. Look, he still gets subs. I think last time I checked, he only had 50 some. Look, subscribed. I would never unsubscribe from you. That would be a tragedy. Graphics. Kind of graphics. Oh, you like the graphics on the stream? I actually, when I went all out and I had like the moving blue thing around and I had the like all the orange going around and stuff like that, I don't know. I just didn't necessarily like it. Jonathan, are you seriously still waiting for 20 likes? I don't think it's going to happen, by the way. Tip your bell, man. I'll answer that for you right now. Ready? We got 2 minutes, and then it's going to disconnect me. Wait, what the? I just went to log into CMEG, and it gave me this crap. I don't know what the heck. All right. There's an error message somewhere that I can't see. I'm gonna have to task manager this thing. Where is it? Try that again. Might not be able to show you. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you. Just to answer your question, yes. I don't use a charting software. I actually really like the DOS charts, to be honest, so I don't have any reason to use anything else. Where are you going to break down trades from other trader channels again? Would like to pitch my interest in your making sense of ducks. No, I only see 19. I only see 19. I don't see 20. Look, serious. See? 19. Need one more. Is that a new like high? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'd have to go back and look at all the previous ones. I'm actually looking forward to when we can attract. I know I'm getting sick, so sorry about all the breathing issues. But I'm actually going to save the rest of this for tomorrow. Won't be as good and bubbly, but oh well. But I'm actually looking forward to when we have like 50 people in here, and I'm having trouble keeping up with the chat because that's the whole point. I want the engagement. I mean, tonight it was different. I actually didn't mind just kind of going off and explaining because I was very into what I was talking about. So my highest winning trade, like overall, or just on the strat, because I think it's like $100. And that's the other thing too. If you notice, with one entry, let's actually add 2 entries here, just out of curiosity. So $93 is my biggest loss with 1 to 2 entries. As you saw, it was only 69 before I added the 2 entries. But my biggest winner is actually $100. So the potential is there. We just have to, okay, I see it there now. It's actually at 21. For some reason, you must be seeing 1 extra, but I only see 21. I don't know why, but go for it. Post that link. I was just kidding anyway. You could have did it earlier, but I appreciate the the honor system there. I have 3 YouTube channels. Were you going through and liking it all those times? So yeah, $100 with a new strategy. If you want to go back and take out like everything, I know there's one that was higher. Yeah, but that was back when I was trading stupid size, and yeah, it just wasn't. That wasn't me. I'll never forget NCTY. It was actually a pre-market trade. I took 500 shares in the pre-market, and NCTY is a low floater, and it just went. It like right when I got in, it went up like $1, and I was just like, holy crap! And it was actually more like 75 cents. I took off half my position right there. It kept going, took off like another half of the half, and then I finished it up there at 865 for whatever the remaining was. It was like an extra 100 shares I had going. So obviously a big win there, but it wasn't really something that I should have been doing. I was trading way big size back then. So that's the biggest winners I've had. And as you can see, trading that big size, it also leads to the other side. My biggest losses there. You guys know MTSI and LYV. Those were part of the new strategy when I was having issues, but every other trade was not. So OCX being my biggest loser ever. That was literally, if you go back, and actually I'll show you. If you go to my channel and look at my first trade ever, I think it was ZKIN, if I remember correctly. Sort by oldest. You will see that I was actually still in the OCX trade. I was in that trade for like over a week, and it destroyed me. And if you guys don't know the OCX story, that's for another day. I'm not going to sit here and tell it. But OCX was the trade right before I started this new strategy. Because what was the date on this? February 4th. And I believe this was the last day I was in OCX on February 4th. And February 8th is the day I started trading the new strategy. So pretty cool to go back and kind of look at that stuff. Hi, I'm Tim, a family man with a trading plan. Welcome to my transparent life. What do you want to know? I'll tell you whatever you want to know, as long as I feel like I won't get in trouble. There are things that I can't tell you because if there's something that I can't tell you because the contract says I can't tell you, then I'm sorry, I can't tell you. But I will beat around the bush to where I can tell you as much as I can about it without actually telling you, if that makes sense. I have cramps. Wait, is this a Aha Moments episode 1? Get out of here. Should I change the title to Aha Moments episode 1? Had to help a brother. What the heck is that, Giovanni? Do you have any YouTube traders that you like to watch? Thoughts on Ross, Ricky, Clay Trader, Humbled Trader? Okay, good question. So I actually used to watch every YouTube trader. I would go looking for more YouTube traders to watch. And then I started to realize I was investing too much time in watching other traders, which now let me step back. If you're new, go do that, right? Go watch every YouTube trader you can find, because each person's going to trade differently. And it's actually beneficial for you to see all the different ways everyone's trading. But I feel like I personally am getting to the point now where if I'm still watching other traders, like to the point where I feel like I'm starting to waste my time to watch all these traders and they're not actually really benefiting me by watching them anymore, then it starts to become kind of noise and it starts to become a distraction. And it starts to prevent you from finding aha moments like I did this past week. So I feel that if I was more worried about watching all these other YouTube channels, I might not have been focused on myself and my own trading enough to find this aha moment that I did. If I was just being lazy off watching all these YouTube videos instead of spending an hour and 45 minutes going through and labeling all of my trades in my journal, it might be a completely different story right now. We might not even be talking about this. We might be just talking about other YouTube traders. Who knows, right? So there's a fine line when you start to you have to, again, this is another emotional aspect of trading. You have to start to realize when something starts to become a distraction and noise instead of beneficial. So just keep that in mind. But with that said, there are ones that I do still watch. One being Garage Day Trader, another ISW member. Live traders, Jared and Anmol over at Live Traders. I watch them. Clay Trader is another one that I watch. Although Clay is starting to become different. I've noticed that his trading strategy is a little bit different. I actually related to him quite well in the past because we had a very similar strategy. But he was all about just in and out. Like he's a scalper. We all know that. And he still is, but he's starting to take some interesting trades that I don't personally necessarily agree with. And it just, I don't know, it seems a bit risky. And it's not really what I'm about. So he's starting to kind of get to that point where I feel like his channel isn't really benefiting me as much anymore. So he's kind of on the fence a little bit. Let me go back and let's just see who else I'm subscribed to. I actually just subscribed to Own the Chaos literally today because I just wanted to check out some of his videos because there was a guy that had contacted me about some possible video editing type stuff. So, and he was part of that. Same with Humble Trader. She was too. I believe I'm actually subscribed to her. Yeah. I don't really watch her videos though. They're a little bit sarcastic and they're about low float penny stocks. I believe she has a bunch of subscribers for the wrong reasons. I mean, the stock market's pretty flooded with the male species. So you can probably kind of catch my drift there. Trick Trades is another one. I don't trade like Trick Trades, but he is very like-minded. He's very blunt and truthful. He's going to tell you how it is. And I like that. I like that about a guy, right? He is, F the BS. Let's talk truth. Learning the Day Trade Tom. You guys have heard him here on the stream a few different times. Great dude. He actually just started uploading again. I like to think it's because of me. So I'm going to take the credit there. Andrew over at Bear Bullish Traders. He's a good one to watch too. His channel can be a little bit of noise as well though, because I know he uploads a bunch of the like members trades and stuff. And some of those videos are just hard to watch. Oliver Velez, I think it's Velez. Yeah, it's Velez. I subscribed to him after watching a few of his. He has some. I don't watch his trading. I actually subscribe to him to listen to him for his like motivational type things. He's a very good motivational speaker. So there's that. Text trading, I actually find him. He's an options trader. I don't trade options, but I'm supporting Tex. He is a big GDT follower. I think I actually started talking to him in GDT stream last Saturday, and that was actually why I ended up subscribing to him, just to check out. He does some live trading as well. It's just options. Day Trade the Open, that's Scott. He's another ISW member. He's a very new channel. Doesn't have a ton of videos on there. He's just kind of doing his own thing. He doesn't really commentate too much. He just kind of gets on there and trades. And I have 7 Points Capital. I've actually reviewed their channel. There's Kenobi, Lone Wolf. That's Jonathan. They're over there at Circuit. Speaking of Circuit, there's Circuit. Intensity Stock Watch. Obviously, they have a channel, and that is it. So I have a bunch of other things. Like this is Pix Imperfect is a pretty good channel for learning Photoshop, but we don't need to get into all my other. Chat with Traders is another channel. If you ever get bored, it's basically a podcast where they go through and interview some of the top traders. You can kind of scroll through and find the ones that really kind of are in your subject per se. There's a bunch of good ones. I'm actually surprised you don't see more red lines like I've watched. I actually just started watching this one, but because that was actually a pretty funny thing with the Wall Street Bets on Reddit. But yeah, so that's who I follow. And that's that. Dimples. All right, let me answer. So Ross, I'll go back up and answer your questions. Ross, I'm not a huge fan of. Like I said, sometimes I'll go to bed and Ross will be on my phone. He's becoming very advertiser friendly. He loves the advertisements. So not a huge fan of Ross just because of his methods. Same with Ricky. Ricky talks too fast for me. Anybody that talks that fast is usually trying to sell you something. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Clay Trader, I already told you. Humble Trader, I kind of told you too. I don't really watch Humble Trader just because from the aspect, she trades something that I don't trade. She trades low float stocks. But her videos are really good. I actually really love her sense of humor. It's a drier sense of humor, which is pretty much what I have too. So me and Humble Trader would get along very well. We just don't trade the same stocks. So that's really all it comes down to with that. Yeah, if anyone can make sense of ducks, man, it's got to be you. So Stephen Ducks. Thanks, Tip Your Bill, man. Appreciate that, man. To answer your question about ducks, I'm not really sure what to say about ducks. He's there's a lot of commotion. Let me blow my nose real quick. Hold on a sec. That didn't really help. So, there's huge speculation with Steven saying that, he got audited from some company that's not even in the U.S. Basically people were saying he's a liar and that he always goes out of his way to make Trade Zero chime in on his tweets saying, can you confirm this, blah, blah, blah. And some people are saying, well, of course Trade Zero is going to say that because they have some kind of partnership. But who knows, right? Who really knows? The statements that he shows, he covers up some things sometimes, and it's like, well, why is he covering that up? I don't know. I actually didn't mind ducks until he started selling that like $500-$600 or whatever amount it costs. It's a DVD, and the main issue I have with that is who watches DVDs anymore. I don't even have something that could watch a DVD. So even if I wanted to pay the money for a DVD, I would have to find a way to play it. It's like, seriously? But yeah, you see 25 likes? I don't see 25. I only see 23. 23. What are you talking about? Get your Jonathan's smoking over here. I have to ride over to his house. He's only like 25 minutes away. Probably only 20 at this time of night. No traffic. Get what he's smoking. Just kidding. We don't smoke. And then that leads into JB asking about Tim Sykes. And let me just tell you, if you really want to pay attention to Stephen Ducks, look at what he's done the last 6 to 12 months. He's starting to do a lot of things just like Tim Sykes does, right? Tim is a marketing genius. The dude carries that laptop everywhere. And if he isn't carrying it everywhere, he's photoshopping himself carrying it everywhere. But that dude, he shows you that he doesn't even trade anymore. Like, he trades, but he doesn't trade any kind of real money. Like, he makes all his money off of this alert system that he has going on through email, whatever it is, and all the courses that he's selling and stuff like that. Like, he's a brand at this point. He doesn't even have to trade, and he doesn't even try. Like, he obviously does, but he doesn't try to prove, that he made his money, doesn't want to give it all back. So he just keeps that frame of mind. Hey, yes, Yushan, I know. But it makes no sense to me. But people eat that stuff up, just like Ross. It's the same way. When you first come into trading, Ross and Tim Sykes are like the two people you cannot avoid. You're going to run into them at some point when you're a new trader, and whether you drink that Kool-Aid or not, that's up to you. My goal is to get this channel big enough to where you hopefully find me before you find them, so that you don't drink that Kool-Aid. That's kind of one of the main things behind this. All right, let's catch up a little bit more. Yeah, and then Zishan, Tim Sykes doesn't trade that much anymore. Oh, hey, I've got a question for you. What's the min upload speed requirement? What are you talking about? For what? Min upload speed requirement? For what? I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll show you what I get. So right around 100 down, 112 up. Is that good enough? Coco, yes, I am an American trader. You like Japan trader? Let's search that one. It's funny because I was actually looking into the Japanese exchange because their opening would be kind of at night where I'm at. So it would be interesting to be able to kind of trade 2 opens in a day. Let's see, Kaitohinata. I do not see a trader. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a YouTube channel. Hajayta. Nothing. Coco, you lying to me? You lying? Humble Trader got trashed by a guy just recently. What do you mean, Vincenzo? Hey, man, thoughts on the virus? Hey, what's up, doing business with Chinese? I was actually just doing a bunch of research on that, and it seems like they are making quick work of it. Obviously, the hot spots over there where it's all happening. And so what a bad name for the virus, at least for the brand name of Corona, right? They literally named it the coronavirus. Like, can you imagine? There's going to be so many people out there that don't understand what the coronavirus is, and they're going to go to drink a beer, and people are going to be like, oh, Corona, how can you drink that? There's a virus going around in the Coronas. People are going to say that. There are people out there that are going to think that drinking Corona, the beer, is going to be how you get the virus. There's going to be people that think that, I promise you. Excuse me. That's all I have to say about the coronavirus. But it seems like I remember reading some articles and watching some videos on it, and apparently they've already broken it down, and they're already working on a vaccine for it. So that's good news. Obviously, it's anytime you come across a new virus that can obviously kill people pretty quickly, especially the elderly, obviously it sucks, but it's going to happen, especially over there in the hot spots, because you have all these different breeds of animals that aren't getting vaccines throughout their life, so they contract all these different kinds of viruses. So when they eventually when you find one that becomes airborne and a human gets infected, they start coughing and they transfer it. Obviously, it just becomes a shit show at that point. Zishan, yes, did give me the free course. I believe it's actually sitting here in the education. Yep, it's sitting in the education folder in the Discord if you guys are interested. I'll list the Discord again just for anybody that would want to get in there. I've been arguing with Xfinity. I had 12 megabytes per second. They downgraded me to 5. Yikes. Holy cow, are you serious? You talking about my 100? Sorry. It's Fios for you. That's all I pay for too. It's only like $45 a month for 100 megs down. It's supposed to be 100. So it's supposed to be 100 down, 100 up. And usually I get more than that. Usually I get like 125 down. But the upload's usually always around like 110. For day trading, min upload speed depends on your order size. What are you guys talking about? That doesn't, no. If you're connected to the broker, your internet speed, 5 megabytes would be plenty. It should have nothing to do with your order going through. Oh, speaking of which, Vincenzo, was that who he was roasting? I watched that video and I had no idea who he was talking about. But I don't follow Humble Trader on Twitter, so that's why, or Instagram or wherever that was, because I didn't know where that post came from. So that's interesting. I have to go back and correlate the two together. What do you think of Trading Monkey? Richie Pool Supplies and Service. Trading Monkey, I tried to help him out. I actually, if you go back, well, you obviously won't be able to see, but when his very first live stream was because of me. That was around when I was like two weeks into live streaming in the mornings, and he had actually asked me to help him get set up doing it himself. And I went through the full process of, getting him set up. And I even went one step further and tried to help him with his trading. And if you've ever watched him and see the hundreds of people that watch him every morning, which just blows my mind, you'll see that a lot of them are there trying to help him because they realize that he needs help when it comes to trading. But the guy will sit there and say that he's accepting your help all day long, and then the next day it'll just be like it never happened. And that's just who he is. If you are watching Trading Monkey, it has to be for pure entertainment, and it's that simple. You're not going to go to Trading Monkey's channel to actually learn anything. You're there for pure entertainment. So that's, I hope the guy figures it out, but I know he was claiming that he's going to make like $2,000 a day by November of this year, and that he was going to be making like $10,000 a day on some days. And it's just like, dude, you're struggling to make $1 a day right now. And if you go look, he's, he keeps adding money to his account, and he's still in the red. He's been trading on this account for, I think, like 3 or 4 months now. I check in on him like every few weeks. And he's still like, he's on a no commissions, no fees. He's trading with TD Ameritrade on a cash account, and he's still in the red, even with no commissions, no fees, all that good stuff. So he's got a long ways to go, and I obviously am rooting for him, but he has a long way to go, and without accepting any help, it's going to be a very long road. That's all I got to say. So you can tell that the people that are there watching him are there for mostly entertainment purposes. It's almost like watching a high-speed car chase on TV. You kind of know how it ends, but you can't stop watching it, right? So it's one of those things. Trick Trades roasted her without giving her exact name. Yeah, I'll have to go check that out. Yeah, my Corona Beer laptop sticker just arrived in the mail yesterday. Does Corona trade public? Let's short it. No, I don't think they do. Bat soup. Yeah. I hide from coronavirus, #1 gamer girl I needed. Coco, you crack me up. Sometimes I wonder if Coco is a troll. I really do. Coco, are you a troll? What company? I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Gifford. Wait for real. I'm paying $200 WTF. You're paying $200? For what? Do you have cable too? I don't have cable. I'm talking about just the internet. And yes, I could prove it if I really wanted to bring up the statement. His live stream is now his greatest enemy. Thanks for that. It's true. Doing business with the Chinese, it's true. He's so focused on being an entertainer at this point because he sees that he has hundreds of people watching him that I think he's going to end up making more money from YouTube than he ever will trading. It's going to be that simple. Which there's other people out there that do that as well. They just, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I got to watch Trick Trade's video again. 95% sure it was about her. Well, Vincenzo, go in the Discord, and then when the stream ends, we'll watch it together. How about that? we can talk about it. Which one of Trick Trade's videos? It was one of the recent ones. It's labeled like don't follow this or something. I don't remember what it was called. Let's see, Trick Trades. One of the main reasons I actually subscribed to Trick Trades was because of his giveaway video that he did. He's given away like some crazy gaming laptop for when he hit 10K subscribers, and he just put out a video, this thank you massive day trading laptop giveaway. I subscribed to him when he was around like 8,500 or something like that. And so I subscribed to him for that, just to maybe win this laptop. But the more and more like I started watching some of his videos because they'd pop up on my feed, I was like, oh, this guy's pretty raw. I like it. Don't day trade like this is the video. As you can see, I had already watched it. So I don't really watch some of his because I'll see the names of some of his videos and I'm just like, it doesn't really apply to me. So I just won't watch them. But most of the time I'll watch some of his videos that I think are pertaining to me. What is it? Pat. That's his name. Pat Mitchell. I couldn't remember. He always says like Pat Mitchell here at Trick Trades. But no, he seems like a very good guy and he's living the life down in, I think he calls it Costa instead of, I say Costa Rica. I think he says it's Costa Rica, which is probably how you actually say it if he lives there and says it that way. LOL, I kind of hate trading Monkey Boom Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Every time I've been in there lately, he doesn't really do that anymore. Vincenzo listed it. Can someone send me the video link? Well, he doesn't actually say it's Humble Trader. So I don't know if it is or not. I'll have to go check. Just Wi-Fi for $200 a month. Holy crap! Where do you live? I mean, it's Xfinity. I mean, they're cable. They should be giving you something. Didn't know you had a Discord. Just joined. See, that's why I listed it. I do have a Twitter too. I'll put it down there. The only reason I have an Instagram too, which I haven't put in the thing here, but Pat I do believe is legit. But he is one that kind of sells his courses and rooms a little bit too much for me throughout his videos that he makes. But I do think he is a legit trader. I just don't know what his ratio is. Like Ross. Ross is making way more off of his courses and chat room and YouTube than he does from his trading. Where Pat, he's still making more trading versus his room and his courses or whatever. So when it comes to these gurus, as we all like to call them, and maybe one day you guys will consider me a guru, I kind of put it in like that, kind of like the profit factor ratio that we were talking about earlier. How much money are you making from trading versus how much money are you making from everything else that isn't trading? I mean, it's trading related, but it's not actual trading. Wouldn't that be a cool number to have for every channel out there? Like just right next to their name on YouTube, it told you their trading profits versus every other income profits. So like if you come to their channel, it's like 0.36. You're just like, okay, yeah, screw that. This guy's just, trying to sell his courses and stuff. But then you come to like my channel and it says like 15.6. Just something crazy like that. You're like, oh, okay, I can trust this guy. Stuff like that. Like, how cool would that be? That'd be pretty cool. We'll just start giving all these YouTube channels a profit. What would we call it? Trading. We'll just say profit profit factor trades versus education school. Like, I don't even know how to call. I don't even know what you would label all that other stuff, but that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Pat is always selling. It is one thing I don't like about his channel, but when he gets into his little rants, they're pretty good rants. So there is that. And I know he had like something like a podcast for a little while that I haven't seen one in a while, but when he does those, they're pretty cool. Like, he literally bashes people like Ross, Clay Trader. Like, he has no filter when he starts to talk about them. Houston, Texas. Yeah, that's crazy, man. You should definitely, the cable is in the ground. I mean, do you not have a way to hook up the Ethernet to your laptop or whatever? That would instantly, we did get 25. All right, now we need 30. How are you going to get 30? I don't know. You're starting to hit the tip of the iceberg there. I can see this channel will grow bigger than you can imagine. Love your work and strategies, man. Learning much more just watching. I appreciate that, JB. I had it kind of took me by surprise, to be honest. The fact that we hit 1,000 by the end of last year, I was not expecting that. My goal when I started the channel was to hopefully get to 500 by the end of the year. So the fact that we even came close to 1,000, let alone went over 1,000 before the end of the year, it was very humbling, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all the support. It's been a journey. And if you go back and watch that first video, me trading ZKIN until now, you'll see that there's no BS here. Like, I literally every single day have shown you everything, literally everything. There's nothing to be hid. You guys have seen everything. You've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, all that stuff. And I don't really, again, when I first started the channel, a lot of it was I just wanted to put my videos out there so that I could personally go back and watch them. And it just grew into so much more. Like, we're becoming a community where I know that you guys can come to the channel, and what you're going to listen to whenever you watch one of my videos or come to one of these streams is the truth, right? It's going to be as transparent as possible and the truth. And that, I love knowing that I can have people come and engage in a conversation where we all are going to be speaking the truth, nothing but the truth. I'm not here to sell you anything. So that's the good part about all this. Did you pay tax yet for trading? No, I haven't. A trading income to sub income ratio. There you go, Vincenzo. That's perfect. How cool would that be? Just pull up a channel and it has that, a trading income to sub income ratio. So if you're under 1, it's a channel that is trying to sell you something. If it's over 1, you're most likely at a channel that just hasn't grew their sales enough yet to the point where they're trying to sell you stuff. But then if you're at like a 10 plus, the odds are they're just there looking to make money from the market. And that's, again, I want to be able to know that in the future, because I'm sure there's going to be a time where, my kids are going to be keeping me even more busy than they are now, where YouTube might become a burden a little bit. So the everyday thing might scale back a little bit. I don't want to get to that point. I want to be able to do this every single day. I enjoy it. I love it. I haven't got burnt out yet. I did get burnt out a little bit at the end of last year, which the Christmas holiday break, it was really nice. It was, I was still here for the most part, but it was nice to kind of take an overall break per se. But as you can see, I'm always trying to improve the channel. Donations that you guys give, all of that goes back to the channel. The time and effort that I put into the channel, not expecting anything back in return. Like, hopefully you guys have seen like the thumbnails, just everything. I try to work so hard just because I love trading so much that as I'm now trying to basically go along on my journey, I'm hoping to teach you guys something along the way. And I'm starting to like slur my words that I'm getting so tired. VT let you peek in his kimono. What is it? Oh, geez. What is a kimono? Kimono robe. I'm assuming, is that what it is? It's a robe. A long, loose robe with wide sleeves and tied with a sash. Coco. Are you trolling me? I feel like that's probably Vincenzo, just on a different account. I think I'm onto something here. But Zishan, no, I did not do my taxes yet. Actually, all these papers are the stuff to fill out. Let me make sure you guys can see this. So it's basically like a packet full of just papers that are basically saying everything that I need. Because I found a CPA that directly works with traders, because this is the first year where I'm going to apply for trader tax status, TTS, as well as mark to market. So I wanted to make sure that I don't mess any of that up and mess any of my deductions and stuff like that up. So I wanted to hire somebody, because this will be the first time I haven't done my own taxes in over 10 years. So I just want to let him do it this year. And then next year, if I feel like I understand how he did it, maybe I can try to do it myself next year. But for this year, I just want to make sure everything gets done right and kind of see what I can do with the deductions and with the TTS. And then if mark to market comes through for next year and all that good stuff, we can work it out that way. But again, if we go back to my journal and we put the dates in real quick from January 1st, I was actually in the red overall. And this isn't even including like fees and all that stuff. So if you go down and look, the year of 2019 was actually pretty red. LYV at the end of the year did not help because that was like $750 or $730 loss. And then when you include the commissions and stuff. So for the year, just from trading, I actually ended up down $435. But if the net return after all the commissions was down $2,137. And that's not even including broker fees for 12 months. So if you add that, I can do the math. It's like another $1,400. So hopefully we'll be able to deduct most of that, which will actually help as far as getting taxes back. But obviously it sucks because, we ended up losing money for the overall year. And again, look at this. My win percentage for last year was 86%. And I ended up losing money, a lot of money. So win percentage is crap, guys. Again, you can have a 95% win percentage. But if you're not playing it right, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Let me actually put back what I had there, my February 8th. A date to remember, February 8th. I'll never forget that date. It's when my life changed, at least for now. Yep, your honesty is what keeps me coming back here, bud. I appreciate that, Welton. It's not going to change, man. It's who I am as a person now, and it's what I want to teach my kids to be. So I like to try to be a model for them as much as I can, and so that's always going to be the case. I'll tell you what I like. You notice things I never notice. It's fresh. Like what? Tell me something. Tell me something I noticed that you didn't. My wife gets me with that question all the time. We'll be sitting there and I'll just randomly be like, I love you. And she can't accept it, right? She'll be like, why do you love me? And I'm like, seriously? And so, of course, it's like you're putting me on the spot, but I'll try to think of some things to say and all that good stuff. But use TurboTax. It's so easy. That's all I have used for the last 10 plus years is TurboTax. So speaking of which, you guys want a life hack. I just heard this on Reddit. It was one of the life pro tips. Go on TurboTax, the free, their website. Go through the whole process that they let you go on, and they let you do your full tax return and see what you're going to get back before you actually file. You just have to pay to actually file it. After you've finished everything on TurboTax, go to where it lists the forms. Excuse me. Print those forms out. That's your tax return. Go to one of the free sites. to where you just have to fill out those forms. Take the forms straight from TurboTax, put the numbers in. There you go. Free tax return. You're welcome. Fresh, hot, and ready. I thought I heard you have to list every single trade. Like, that can't be true. I thought I heard you have to list every single trade. Like your strategy you explained tonight, details are obscure and you ferret it all out. You need to work on your grammar and is English not your first language? I don't mean that as an insult. I'm just asking out of general, or are you just as tired as I am? Or are you just saying that you like that I list every single trade? And then you like how I go through like my strategy in detail and stuff like that. And I have, like, again, there's nothing to hide because I know that my strategy may not be the best for you. But if you can learn something from me explaining my strategy, that's all I want, right? I want you guys to be able to see how my strategy works so that hopefully you can apply some parts of it into your strategy. Or you see where I'm trying to take profits. So maybe that'll be like if you're a long bias trader and I'm a short bias trader, maybe it'll make you understand where it's a good opportunity to go long, right? Like, who knows how it's going to help you? The objective is to get it to help you. That's all. Yes, sir, Zishan. Balls. If you're watching, I'm going to reach out. I reached out to them once before, back when I had like 700 subscribers. I'm going to reach out to them again and be like, okay, I have 1,300 subscribers now. Is that good enough? I have almost double what I had last time. I mean, they didn't even respond to me last time, so who knows? But balls, if you're watching, I love putting you in my mouth. You ask me questions and I answer them, but for some reason you find my answers a long time after you ask the question, so my answers no longer make sense. Sorry. I know. It's like I'm getting congested to the point where I can't, like, it's weird because it's like you can breathe, but then you start talking funny. I think you meant listing every single trade for taxes. Oh. So, good question. I actually found this website. Where did I put it? Here it is. So it's investotech.com. You can actually pay this guy. It's only $5, and he'll take all of your trades and turn them into a .txf file for. I think it says it's for like all the main brokers. Yeah. So all of these brokers, it'll turn into what you would use for H&R Block and TurboTax. But the one that I'm going to have to use is this full service one for $15, where he breaks it into like the Excel sheet. Because the one that I need is not a TXF file. My CPA said he just needs the Excel file. So he only does the TXF files, I think, for these. But over here, he'll do pretty much everything. So for $15, these guys will do everything that you would need. You might only need this one. But I think it has to be one of the main brokers. I'm not sure. But with mine, I have everything printed out. So for an extra $10, he'll go through and turn it into what I need. So if that's what you were asking, there you go. I would, Vincenzo. I just don't want to get copyrighted for whatever reason. Well, note taken, Mr. Gifford. Hopefully those 2 weeks in the chat room will help as well. I'm hooking you up lately. I'm not, keep in mind, I'm not actually hooking Mr. Gifford up with 2 weeks in the chat room. He won those 2 weeks as from one of the giveaways. So don't want everyone to come asking me for 2 weeks in the chat room. Tim, your broker will do that for you for free. No. They'll send it to you in an Excel file, which I'll show you. Let me see. So, and then I need, I think it's just trades, yeah, generate. So I can take this and I can export it to an Excel. And then if I open that, it pulls this up. So you send this to the IRS or to your CPA, they're going to be like, no. And I know this because I already asked my CPA. What they want is, let me see if I can find it real quick and help you guys out. Just going above and beyond for you guys tonight. Just kidding. This is not above and beyond. This is just normal. I just got to find... all right, so this is what he sent me. And this is what he wants it to look like. So it has to have like these specific like it has like wash sale. It has like all kinds of different things in there that they need as a CPA. So the Excel sheet that you see from, sorry, I'm doing a lot of clicking around here. Where'd the Excel, oh, there it is. It doesn't have all that. So what that person does for $15 is he'll go through literally this list and re-enter the information that a CPA needs for the tax returns, if that makes sense. And I know there's a bunch of different people out there. I actually found this one through one of the ISW members who has used this in the past. So that's actually how I found them. And I have confirmed with the CPA that this would work for them. And some CPAs will actually give you a discount for doing something like this because you're paying $15. It might actually save you $100 with the CPA because you're saving the CPA a ton of time because now they don't have to sit there and do that themselves, if that makes sense. So always keep that in mind too. Wait, what? Balls are not $28 for one bottle? They're $2. And always wait for some sort of holiday if you're actually going to get them because they always have free shipping. You guys should all send balls an email saying that I would be a good affiliate for them. All they have to do is just send me the balls and I'll drink them all the time on stream and hold them up just like this. I just don't know. I'd have to personally ask them if they're interested in me saying that I like to put balls in my mouth because I don't know if that's something that they're interested in, but I love saying it. Yeah, these are, here, let me let's see, buy balls. So it's a $48 for a 24 pack. And that's if you get the originals, they're only 10 ounces though. You can get the same, then they taste exactly the same. But drinking out of these bottles are really cool. I remember growing up drinking these, but obviously if you do the math, it's $2 for each one. So if you get the original glass bottles, which are 10 ounces, it's still $2, but they're only 10 ounces. Instead, you get the 16 ounces for the same price, but they're in a aluminum can. The root beer is really good. I haven't tried the cherry yet. The ginger ale is okay. The originals are just awesome. And I actually haven't tried the Ball Zero, which is, it might actually be what I try next. I didn't want to buy a full 24 pack of them though, because I just didn't want to not like them and then have a bunch of them. But as you can see, it's $12 to ship. But if you wait until pretty much any holiday, they pretty much use any holiday as an excuse to give you free shipping. And that's pretty much what I always do. So, and if you're buying the big packs, they should last you in between holidays. So what's the next holiday coming up? Valentine's Day. So for Valentine's Day, they'll probably have free shipping. But so do we have anything else to talk about? What do you guys, I'm going to give it 10 minutes. I'm going to get out of here 1 o'clock. So let me know if you have any additional questions. We'll sit around here for about another, I think the balls are kicking in a little bit. So Vincenzo, if you want to still watch that video on the Discord with me, feel free. Giovanni asked me earlier, I just now saw this, the code, if there wasn't one there, I'm so confused. Time to make dinner. Where you live? Must be nice. It's 1 o'clock in the morning here. But KG, nice to see you. I don't think you chimed in at all during the stream, but thanks for watching. I appreciate the support. Again, if you ever do have any questions or comments, there's no stupid questions. Feel free to ask. Feel free to jump in. Always available. And if you have any questions or comments and you couldn't think of them during the stream and you think of them in your sleep, feel free to leave them on any of my videos. I'll get to them. Or, again, join the Discord and we can talk about it there. I see somebody else joined. Who is it? Oh, we got a couple more joins. Nice. Welcome, guys. Yeah, like I said, the general hangout, if you're still in here, is where we tend to hang out the most. I'm in there pretty much all day during market days, unless I decide to go take a nap with the little one. But I'm always hanging out in there because I have it on my phone too. So, yes, sir, KG. I'll see you later, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Got the 25 likes. You know what? While we're sitting here seeing if you guys have any more questions, let's go back and see. We'll go to the one with, oh, here we go. We can just see the likes over here. I got to go to just the Friday night. Let's see if, can I filter by title? Friday. All right. Oh, we had 21. Oh, 28. We had 28 all the way back here on October 26th. Dang. I wonder what were we talking about there? It was just a free-for-all. That stream has actually put in better numbers than any other stream. Must have been a good one. I might have to go back and watch it myself. There was a copyright claim, though. Let's see what it was. Definitely a great stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Yes, of course. Push that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Oh yeah, let me do the cool thing. Boom. Just paid $5 for that thing. Somebody actually it was Marcelo. I credit that to Marcelo. He actually had donated through the super chat $4 and $2. Obviously I don't get $6 from that, but I decided to pitch in a little bit of my own money. And we decided to get that cool subscribe button little thingamajigger that you've been seeing in the videos. Like I said, guys, you donate money to the channel to show your support. I put it right back into the channel. That's all of it, goes right back to the channel. I am not here to make money off of you guys. I'm here to help you make money. Where's the usually the copyright thing pops right up. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of my stuff copyrighted because I would play the that pump up song, if you guys remember, the one from the Instagram post, the trader memes. Yeah, they got me for a bunch of them. I just kind of said whatever and let it be. Because I always just figured they were on all of my older videos, so I stopped playing it. Because if they're going to copyright all of them, there's really not much I can do about it. So pretty much all of these were that. Like all of the morning live streams that I did that got copyrighted were because of that. And for a little while, I was actually using what I thought was free, what is it called? No copyright music from like different royalty-free sites. And after the fact, they would copyright my stuff. So I went through in some of them and just cut that part out. But I remember that being kind of annoying. It was like, what's the point of having 27 likes? Look at Jonathan. Or is that 28? Because here, now I'm going to have to go to the actual, can you guys actually beat the overall likes? See here, it says 25. I guess I got to go to the actual, I think I already liked it myself. So I may have cheated. Oh, I didn't. Oh, and we're at 29. Look at you guys. I could make it 30. Should I make it 30? Let's see if we can get to 30 without me. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. I have some pretty cool sound effects. I think I had that money one on here, but I took it off. But I think I have another money one. Where is it? Yeah.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money. Dollar.
Now I played that. Somebody better give me some money. No, I'm just kidding. 31. Look at you guys. All you guys holding out to the end. You holding out to the end. All you got to do is just hit that little like button. And then all you got to do is hit the little subscribe button and then the little bell next to it. So then next time you'll know when I go live. And you can just come and hit that like button right away. We don't have to sit here and have Jonathan beg for likes the whole time. But I like Jonathan being here begging for those likes. It's like my little intra-stream promoter. That is what he does. He's a marketer. So All right. So we surpassed the likes. Let's go back to all the Friday night live streams. We're at 31. Somebody disliked it though. Ouch, my heart, it's broken. Who came in here and disliked it? Well, let's see if that is the most. I mean, I would assume it is because the 28 was up here. I would assume the further we go down, we had less views because we weren't that popular. But look, we started the Friday night live streams back in May, right? We've been consistent since May, like May 24th. So we skipped the first one in June. I wonder why. I wonder if that was because, if you remember, that's when I was paper trading for a month. So I wonder if that had something to do with, I just didn't feel like doing it at that time because that was after that big MTSI loss. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, quick update on, I'm assuming that was the MTSI trade. And then we got right back at it. And as you can see, we don't skip. We're here every Friday. That's what we do. We're setting all-time highs. You are. I wonder if there's another video in general that has more likes. And then it will dump like the stock Zishan. I usually typically get upwards of like 20-ish likes, it seems, like 10 to 20. So 17, 12, 11, 12, 15. Oh, 33 on the 3 for 3 KO. 28, the one before that. 13, 12. I wonder if it had something to do with the thumbnails. You guys like the new thumbnails, by the way? Been trying to pick my game up a little bit with those. Holy crap. I don't think we're going to beat that one. So my new CMEG review has 154 likes. Holy crap. I didn't even realize that. I don't necessarily go back and look at my analytics too much for YouTube because I'm not on YouTube to make the monies. But yeah, holy crap, that's almost up to 1,000 views. We did that right at the end of the year. Crazy. I put the frequently asked questions out there too. That's doing pretty good. 26 likes, 436 views. Is wifey proud of you being a trader? Because my wifey isn't. She thinks I'm in my phone or laptop every time I have to show my profits. The thumbnails are memes to me. They are kind of memes in a way. My wife supports me. There's no way I'd be where I am now, even as not really that profitable of a trader. Actually, I'm still not fully profitable. If it wasn't for her supporting me. She knows that this is an end game scenario. So we're trying to keep that in mind as we're going through this journey. But my main day-to-day job is my kid, right? You guys see me here on the morning live stream and you see me put out a video every day, but that is very secondary to me, raising my kid. You guys see me get up during the live stream in the morning as much as I have to take care of him if he needs something and whatnot. But the moment that my stream ends, until he takes a nap, and then when he wakes up from his nap, it's just kids, all kids. I always try to do my video while he's sleeping, so that I don't take any more time away from him than I do just from running the live stream in the morning. So that hour and a half, 2 hours that I give you guys live streaming every morning, that's pretty much the only time that I'm not with my kids. So trading is, again, when I have spare time, it's all I think about. But I always put my family first. It's always priority number one. And that's why I'm trading in the first place. It's because I want to be able to get to a point where trading can give us a life that I wasn't able to have growing up. So if I can get to that point, that would be amazing. That's the end goal. The end goal is to be able to, every summer when my kids are old enough, pick as a family where we want to go and not have to worry about the monetary aspect of it. Just say, we want to go here this year. Okay, let's go there. Like I would love to get to that point. That would be so amazing. So my goal now is to put in all the hard work as much as I can for as many years as it takes to slowly build up to the point where when they're finally getting to the age, hopefully by that time, I can still be at home making this my full-time job. When they're both going to school every single morning, I can jump on here and this will be my full-time job. I can fully concentrate on it. That would be awesome, right? That would be so awesome. And that is the end goal. So I would not be able to even think about that if it wasn't for my wife's support and my family support. You'd be surprised how much my mom does her best to help. She listens to some of my live streams in the morning, and she's the one that's actually got me telling my audience a little bit more. Every once in a while, there's going to be new people. So sometimes you have to talk as if there are always new people watching. You can't always assume that it's just the same people that are your current audience watching. So every once in a while you have to say, hey, tell them your name, tell them like what you're about, tell them what the channel's about, let them know why they clicked on your channel in the first place. So just like for Mr. Gifford, how I'm giving you different aspects on things that you wouldn't have necessarily thought about, my mom is doing that for me with, running my live streams. So there's always opportunity out there. Always be willing to listen to others. It might not always be some crazy life-changing advice, but it could be something little. And I always believe in, if you take care of the little things, the big things take care of themselves. So if every little thing that you do starts to add up to where it might take care of a bigger thing, then so be it. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We're putting in the hard work with all these little things, hoping that that bigger picture that I just told you about will take care of itself. So that was a little heart to heart there, I think. I didn't really mean to get into that, but it kind of happened. So, so are you like a stay-at-home dad? I am not like a stay-at-home dad. I am a stay-at-home dad. I am Mr. Mom, house bitch, whatever you want to call me. The freedom that day trading brings, it's beautiful. And it's true. Knowing that I can be with my kids as they grow up, knowing that I can go on every field trip that they have, knowing that I can be the volunteer that goes into school when they need it. It's the thought of that is just amazing. Knowing that I can be with my kids whenever I want for those experiences is just, it boggles my mind that more people wouldn't go out of their way to figure out a way to do it. They've definitely changed my life and my mentality on life ever since we've had them. Just think of day trading like printing money once you get to that point. You know, it's funny you say that because the professionals that I do know that are legit professional traders, that's pretty much what they do on a daily basis. They make it seem so easy, and they're basically printing money. It's crazy. It is pretty crazy. Sorry, I was answering some Discord stuff. Oh, you know what? I didn't even like it yet. Oh, we're only at 31. Jonathan showed me 32, though. What happened? Did somebody unlike it? They didn't dislike it, but they unliked it. It's weird. I'll like it again. Or not again. Oh, there it was. So for some reason it wasn't going. Now we got 33. For some reason, mine on here is like one behind for some reason. It has been the whole time. Hence I've been telling Jonathan he's a liar. Liar. I'm almost done my balls now. Said I was going to save it. But, all right, well, we actually, man, 15 minutes flew by. I didn't even realize we went past 1 o'clock. If nobody has any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It is kind of late. Go try to get some sleep. JB says, nah, I work 9 to 5, but have to wake up at 6 a.m. to trade, then take care of the little ones and on the phone or laptop when off just to trade. Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm never going to tell anyone to ever quit their day job to day trade. Unless you've been day trading for years and you know that you're consistent, that's a different story. But if you're just starting off, you know, there's some people out there that are like, I want to quit my job so I can day trade full time. Well, guess what? Until you've been doing it consistently and you're consistently profitable for, I would say like 2-3 years, which should probably take you 5 to 6 years, because it's probably going to take you 2-3 years just to get profitable and, you know, profitable in the first place and then consistent. I would never recommend that. So it's actually very beneficial to have a full-time job, because trading can just be kind of a side thing. So you can basically do what I'm doing and put all your extra time into it, but you still have the full-time income to go along with it. I like to say that even if I was working my old full-time job, it would barely cover the daycare expenses anyway. And that was actually why I ended up staying home in the first place, because at the end of the month, we would have brought home an extra $100. It was like $150 after paying for the daycare for the two of them. And I was like, I'm not going to work 40 plus hours a week just to let someone else raise my kids. It didn't make sense to me. So I told her, I was like, look, when we sat down and had our conversation together, your job has more potential for growth, more potential to make more money. The only thing that sucked is I had a government job, so the benefits were really nice and the time off was really nice. But her job, obviously, in the end was better to stick with. And she agreed. And she's more of a worker anyway. I think she's not patient enough to be a stay-at-home mom, if we're being honest, which we know that I am. And so I think it really worked out. There was no way. I mean, if it was like $1,000 a month, it'd be different. But for $150 a month, to me, that was totally no questions asked, not worth it for someone else to watch my kids and raise my kids. So I was like, it makes no sense. I'm watching my kids and that was that. So looks like we kind of hit our max. Everyone's kind of ditching out. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Always appreciate that support. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to hit me up on the Discord over the weekend. If not, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday morning. Peace.